So I've owned my F-Type SVR for about 2 months now, and when I bought the car, the bodywork was absolutely immaculate. And now I want to keep it like that. And so that opens up a range of options to me. Option 1 is apply paint protection film or PPF to the front end. Now the problem with PPF is it's not cheap. It's cut specifically and templated to each vehicle that it's going to be used on, and it does not fold around the edges of your panels. And after time, you will see a black edge, which is the edge of the PPF where muck has got trapped on the underside of that bit of PPF. Option 2 is I get the car wrapped, but that again isn't cheap, and it would mean a colour change and I'd have to have the whole car wrapped. Wrapping does actually offer you many different colours and styles of wrapping, but you would probably need to wrap the whole car for it to work. Option 3 is get the car ceramic coated. And again, if done correctly, ceramic coating is not cheap. And it won't necessarily protect against stone chips, as those will just go straight through the ceramic coating and through to the paintwork. But now there is a fourth option, and that option is clarity coat. That's going to give you the best of a PPF, the best of a wrap, and the best of a paint job all in one. Let me explain a little bit more. So clarity coat is a sprayable paint protection system that gives you the best of both worlds. Unrivaled protection from road debris that looks and feels like premium automotive paint, with the added benefit of choosing any colour you like, including clear. It delivers between 200 and 350 microns of coverage. This can be increased in certain areas if required. So with this you have the ability to paint any non-porous surface, including chrome. There's basically nothing that can't be painted by this system. Where can I have that done to my car, here you ask? Well, it's my old friend Automotive Finesse. I'm going to go there, I'm going to get the bonnet and the front bumper done just to protect those from the stone chips, etc. They're going to allow me to film the whole process, and I'm taking you guys with me. So just right here now, Automotive Finesse, and before we even get into this, look what's just turned up.
Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Wow, now if people like that bring their car to this place, I think I'm in the right place for my SVR. Car now on the ramp now. To get this job done correctly, what we need to do is, first of all, we're going to have to remove this bumper here. So this has all got to come off, with all of the grills and everything else inside the bumper's got to come out as well. These SVR side panels need to come off as well, because we're going to do those. Luckily the bonnet is going to stay in place, because that can be just sprayed by getting the car in the booth, and we don't have any hassle trying to line that up again afterwards. So let's get cracking and let's get those parts off. So to start with, this obviously means get the car up in the air so I can get those wheels off, because I'm going to have to remove the dreaded under tray from the front bumper. So I loosen off the inner wheel linings on both sides, and then we need to get underneath and start removing those 30 odd bolts that are holding that under tray on. Now, having removed the tray, I totally forgot that I'm going to have to take the SVR wings off, and I thought, well, I'll just pop the wheels back on so I can get the car on the ground, and then I can easily get the bumper off. So next, it's just a case of undoing all the bolts that are holding the bumper to the car. Now the bumper won't come off until you've unplugged these two plugs here, and there's not a lot of slack on the cable, so you don't want to put too much stress on them, so you've got to unplug that. Also this side you've got the washer jet pipe here that also needs pulling back to where it joins, and then we can dismantle that. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, got him in the end, but that green one was a bit tight, but it's off now, so that's good. Bumper is off, so let's get it on a panel stand and get it stripped down. Yeah, so this was a lot harder than it looks, because some of these clips are really hard to get out. And yeah, I was battling with some of these for ages, so I got one of the guys to come over and help me. But I managed to get it all out without breaking anything. Then guys, bumper all stripped down, so car is now ready to get painted. So it's over to Automotive Finesse to work their magic. Just reminded me, I totally forgot, I'm taking these panels off as well. Oh, means I've got to get the car back in the air, wheels off, full wheel arch liner out to get them off. Arrgh. So we had a slight change of plan here, and we decided that we are going to take the bonnet off, because if you leave the bonnet on, we're going to have to get the car in the spray booth and we're going to have to mask the whole car up. So it made much more sense just to undo a few bolts, take the bonnet off, put the bonnet in the paint booth along with the other panels. Right then guys, here I am, and this is Rudy, who is the owner of Automotive Finesse. Hi Rudy.
Good morning, Phil. How are you this morning?
Good, thanks, and how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. Right, so I'm here to get my car clarity coated. So what does that mean? Tell us all about it.
Okay, so Clarity Coat is a product which has been developed a few years ago. We've been using it for the last 18 months. I must admit, when we first started looking into this, I was a bit skeptical about it, because it does everything you don't expect it to do. Right. And the whole concept of it is car protection. So it's how do we protect the paintwork on the car. Yep. That's the first part of the product. So far we've all used PPF. However, like anything else, there's always a downside to something. Yes. You get the cut lines where the PPF panels are cut. And eventually, because of the glue within the vinyl, you will start seeing black lines. On lighter cars, we've had 430 Scuderias in here in yellow, and you can see it from miles away, where you've got a black line all around your PPF. Yeah. So aesthetically, there are, let's just say, issues. The biggest issue comes if you need to take the PPF off for whatever reason. You can get, at best, glue residue. Okay. And when you take the PPF off, you then have to deal with the glue factor, and that depends on how long the PPF has been on, and like we said, the quality of the PPF. Worst scenario, you could damage the paintwork. So we've always said, how can we overcome this? And this is where Clarity Coat comes in. Okay. So Clarity Coat is a peelable, sprayable product. So it is not a vinyl. So straight away you've eliminated any glue issues. There's no glue involved. There's no cut lines because it's sprayed on. So it can go around any contours on any cars. And it's got some self-healing properties, even though we don't promote it on that because it's limited, but it does do it. Okay. And the protection that you're getting is far better, in my opinion, than any PPF on the market. So to put that into context, you're getting between 200 and 400 microns of protection, which is quite significant in terms of paint. That's nearly as much paint as sometimes comes out of a manufacturer.
So how thick is a PPF then in comparison?
PPF, you're looking at about 100 microns to 150 microns. Wow. Because you're limited with the properties of the material, which is the vinyl. Where we see a big difference is that you can protect the corners, the edges of the panels, which with PPF, yes, sometimes you can wrap it round, eventually it starts to come off, then you try and do it again, whereas with this, you don't know that there's any edge lines.
It sounds like magic to me.
It is. Like I said, I call it sort of from a body shop owner point of view, I say it insults our intelligence because it's doing everything.
Can't be
that
true.
You do not expect it to do.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we can do with Clarity Coat is color changes, custom paint work, where the product is basically made out of two different materials. You've got a rubberized base coat, which we apply 7 coats of, and we cure in between each coat, and then a flexible lacquer. It's not your normal lacquer, it's very flexible. You can do this to it and it doesn't crack. It's an amazing product. And it's all peelable. So when we come to a color change, unlike vinyl, where you're restricted to the swatches of the colors available by that manufacturer, we can do any color that you want. We can do OEM colors, we can do bespoke colors, because basically what we're doing is we're painting the car and sandwiching the paint in between the base coat and the lacquer. So you can have a totally different color car. If you're ever fed up of it, or you come to sell it and the prospective buyer doesn't like that color, you can peel it all off.
So in the paint in between is just standard paint then?
Just standard paint.
Right, so it's a
It's
bit below and
water-based
above.
paint. So literally you can have pearlescence, you can have metallics, you can have anything that you want. We can do stripes, we can do custom paint work. You've seen a Mustang which we've done, which has got flip colors and stripes and everything that you can think of on it. We've even done shadow graphics with it, where you only see the graphics when the color flips. So really it's down to your imagination.
Can you do clear?
Yes, we can do clear.
So clear just has no paint in between?
Absolutely. Clear is your entry level,
Yes.
which is a substitute, a replacement for your PPF protection.
Yes.
One thing I would say, and everybody who's seen the product actually agrees, when you put PPF, because of the vinyl, it tends to reduce a bit of the gloss factor, because the light cannot travel through the vinyl as much as it can obviously on paintwork. So you tend to lose a bit of gloss. Clarity Coat tends to enhance the gloss. So the car actually looks brighter, nicer, and you go like, wow, look at the finish on that. I suppose we've also got to mention costs, and ironically, the cost is very similar to either a PPF or a wrap for a color change. Yes, so we can do a front end, or we can do the whole car. We can strip the car down and do all your inside door edges, everything. So really the options are endless.
Basically anything you can do with paint, you can do with this.
Absolutely. And the best way to look at it is, even though we're talking paint protection, is you've got to look at it in the light of paint. You can sand it, you can polish it, you can ceramic coat it, you can wax
polish it. Wow.
You can do anything that you do to paint, you can do to the finished product.
Amazing.
Which also, if you got a scratch on the car, if you can take it out on paint, you can take it out on this. If you need to do a repair, we can, within reason, this is subject to the repair, do repair patches. Also, it's immune to UV, which means it doesn't fade. So you're protecting your paintwork against fading on some colors. So in the unfortunate situation that you had an accident, and let's say we need to do a front wing or a door or whatever, we peel it off, your paint is still as it was on the first day that we applied the coating. We do the repair, put the coating on, perfect color match. There's no issues about fading. It also comes with a 5-year warranty from the manufacturer, so it's tried, proven and tested. It's been tested under extreme conditions as well, high temperatures, low temperatures. So the product originated from the marine industry rather than the automotive industry. So it stands the test of time, really does. Looking at this panel.
So is this an example panel?
Yeah, this is something we just did, just to say.
Right, so this is not off my car, by the way.
No,
this is just a panel
this
that
is just a
Rudy
scrap
prepared.
panel we had. We just put the base coat on, we put a grey paint colour, and we put the lacquer on. Once we did it. We actually threw it on the floor,
Oh, okay.
and hence you can see this damage. And what you can
yes.
see here is that your protection is damaged.
Yeah.
However, the paint, the original paint underneath,
Yeah.
is still intact,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
shows you the protection.
Yeah.
So the original color of this was a light grey color.
Right.
And I can prove that by actually peeling it off. So you can see how we can peel it all off. And as you can see,
Oh, that's witchcraft.
the original color of the car. No glue residue,
Wow. So
no nothing. And you can see
Wow.
the flexibility of the product.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can't do that with any paint.
Oh,
So
that is pure witchcraft.
you
That.
can see the thickness of it, and that is the protection that you're having, and you can see the flexibility of the
You
product.
can. So you can almost see the layers just down there.
Yes,
as
so
well.
this
Yeah.
is your base coat layer,
Yeah.
and then you've got your paint and your lacquer on top. So you can see how flexible the product is.
Yeah.
So today we'll be doing your panels.
Yep.
And for the viewers, they might say, well, why did you dismantle the car? And the answer is very simple. Because of the thickness that the product actually applies on the panels, anything which got a 5 mm gap or less has to come off. Otherwise it will bridge because it's that thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've taken your bonnet off, we've taken your bumper off, we've taken your side panels off. So now Dom will actually prep them. And again, the prepping is just a deep clean. There's no sanding involved, nothing, it's just a deep clean.
Yeah.
Then we'll start the process of applying the base coat layers. We'll cure them, and then we'll apply the clear flexible lacquer. Obviously we're not doing any color changes. Then we will leave that to cure for 24 hours. Tomorrow we will then polish the panels, reassemble the car. You're ready to go.
And we're going to see that whole process because Rudy's nicely enough let me bring my cameras in here. So Rudy, it's over to you guys. Get my panels clarity coated for future protection. So all the panels were then taken outside and given a good jet wash, clean down and soap, etc. and dried off, ready to take them into the booth, ready for masking up and final degreasing. Well guys, so this is 4 coats of base coat at the moment. We're going to do 7 in total. But it looks like it's got like a matte grey paint on, doesn't it? Of course, when they put the clear on, this will become all shiny when the clear goes on. Right, there we go guys, that's absolutely just finished with 3 coats of clear coat. I'm not going to go further into the booth, I don't want to drag any dust in with me. So that was 3 coats of clear on that now, so they've got to now be left in there to cure. I'm going to leave that overnight, we're not going to touch them now until tomorrow. So I'm going to go home, Give a nice night's rest, because when I come back tomorrow, we've got to reassemble this car. For you, it'll be instant. I'm back, and, well, the booth empty. They put the stuff just outside. It's over to polishing now. Let's go and have a look at them before the polish. The shine and the gloss, absolutely fantastic. You won't believe there's another coating on top of that. And there's the man himself. Bit of a elbow grease today, mate?
Yes, mate.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the light, but I see it through.
Bumper back on. Now we're going to get the car back in the air and we can get the side panels on and the wheel arch liners. Final polish. That's all done. The bonnet can now be reinstalled and lined up. And as we know, these Jags are a right pain in the backside to get these bonnets lined up. There she is, guys. All the car is now back together, so let's get this into a nice place where we can get some really nice photographs so I can show you what it looks like in the daylight. Check this out, guys. So you see here, this point here has not been done and this point has, and there's absolutely no loss of the shine between those two. If anything, this does look a little bit glossier than this part here. So there we go, guys. This is way better than PPF, I think. It really does keep the shine of the car. You don't lose anything with this, and it's all peelable, so you can just tear it off if you don't want it on anymore. If you want something like this doing to your car, then have a look below. It's from Automotive Finesse in Doncaster. I'll put links to the site down below. Give them a call, have a chat, see what they can do for you. Hope you've enjoyed this. Till the next time, stay safe.